Marketplace is supported by Putnam Investments, celebrating over 70 years of service to financial advisors, their clients, and institutions worldwide. Putnam Investments, a world of investing. Produced in association with the University of Southern California.
Remember how the Federal Reserve was going to get out of the economy? Once everything starts getting better? Yeah, never mind. The Fed met today and didn't really like what it saw. From American Public Media, this is Marketplace.
Marketplace is supported by the Batten Institute, advancing knowledge about entrepreneurship and innovation at the University of Virginia's Darden School of Business, www.batteninstitute.org. And by Progressive Insurance, helping people shop for car insurance at 1-800-PROGRESSIVE and progressive.com.
From the Frank Stanton Studios in Los Angeles, I'm Kai Ryssdal. It is Tuesday, today the 10th of August. Glad you could be with us. The Fed, as widely predicted here and elsewhere, didn't do a thing on short-term interest rates at its meeting today. The federal funds rate is going to stay at a record low 0.25%. But as so often happens when Mr. Bernanke and the gang get together to chat, it's not about what they did, it's about what they said. In its statement accompanying the rate announcement, the Federal Open Market Committee said two things of note today. First, that it's going to keep on investing in government debt as a way to drive interest rates lower through the market. Two, that it's doing that because the pace of the recovery has slowed. As it happens, yesterday, the San Francisco Fed released a report of its own. It said the odds of an economic double dip are at about 50-50 over the next 2 years. Since we're all too familiar with what a recession feels like, we asked Marketplace's Elisa Roth what a second hit might feel like.
A lot like what we've got right now, only worse.
A recession would show us returning to a story of significant layoffs in many industries.
Lynn Reeser is chief economist of Point Loma Nazarene University and president of the National Association for Business Economics.
We also would see home prices and sales drop significantly. The commercial real estate market would deteriorate.
She says people would stop spending money. So would companies. State and local governments would be in even more trouble than they already are. If things got bad enough, the whole financial system could freeze up again. But like a lot of economists, Reeser thinks it's pretty unlikely. Paul Ashworth is senior U.S. economist at Capital Economics. He says it would take something really serious to push us into a double dip.
It's not uncommon to have lows in recoveries, but it really does take a fairly big shock to drive an economy that's already been in recession recently back into recession.
And he says everyone's being much too cautious for that to happen. Policymakers are working on new strategies to keep money moving. Banks aren't lending much, and people aren't buying much either. The more likely scenario, a long, slow recovery. In New York, I'm Elisa Roth for Marketplace.
All right, here's another economic milepost. For the first time, student loans in this country have overtaken credit card debt. Americans owe more to private student lenders and the federal government than they owe credit card companies. Scary, but not necessarily a bad thing, as Amy Scott reports now from the Marketplace Education Desk at WYPR in Baltimore, Maryland.
As of June, Americans owed about $826 billion in revolving credit. Most of that is credit card debt. Our student loan bill totaled about $830 billion. That's according to Mark Kantrowitz. He publishes the financial aid website finaid.org. For one thing, he says more people are going to college.
The number of financial aid applications has gone up by about 20% year over year. And more of those families have greater financial need due to unemployment and other impacts of the economy on their personal finances.
Families are also borrowing more because college is getting more expensive. And Kantrowitz says students are now more likely to get loans from the federal government instead of grants that don't have to be paid back. But there's another big reason for the debt shift.